So, I had this idea. I wanted to actually solve a problem where one of my email inboxes has about 25,000 emails in it, with the majority of it being junk. And so I set out on a mission to use a local LLM, as small as possible, so it could be as quick and efficient as possible, to go through my emails and categorize them based on the importance. I did this using a Python script, and I ended up testing several models, but the smallest one I could to perform decent was this Gemma 2 billion parameter one. And the way I set this up is in LM Studio. I basically start this local server, and I'm going to utilize these APIs. Okay, so what you'll need to do is you need to go into console.cloud.google.com, create a project. Once you create this project, it's pretty basic. You just fill out all the normal information in here. To create this project, you'll come back here and you'll click on this API and services. You'll want to enable API and services by searching for Gmail. I already have mine enabled. And then in here, you're going to want to click the enable button. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to here, and we're going to click this REST API and services button again, and then instead we're going to hit credentials. And what we really want to do is generate this file. The file will be named something like some random characters.json. You can rename that file to credentials.json to make this actually work. Then, once you have all that set up, we can jump back into our code. Notice the chat completion URL, so we're going to be using the 1234 port that I set up, chat completion. And this is the scope we're going to request, because we're going to actually have to do an OAuth into Google to actually approve us having access to it. Not going to click into this, but you can see my credentials file. And if for some reason you mess this up and you want to re-OAuth, you can delete your token.pickle file. And you can see that here, that it's actually looking for the pickle file initially. And if it doesn't have it, it ends up doing an OAuth call. Ultimately, what this service does is it utilizes the Google Gmail API to get unread messages. It goes through and grabs information about the email. And then what I'm doing is I'm categorizing the email. And I categorize it in 3 different categories. So I'll show that here. AI classified low, AI classified medium, and AI classified high. What I end up doing is I end up doing a summary of the email, and I end up rating the email. And I use Gemma 2 billion parameter model. You specify that here. You have to be a little bit picky on that. And what you can do is you can actually hit the API locally. Let me load this up here to get the model. So if you don't know what models are available, because I'll just show you real quick. Like I have a bunch, but it doesn't include, you don't use the -gov. That got me at first. You just really need to do, that part of it there. And you can see that that's working. All right, and then so this sends back, honestly, I want to improve this because I think I can make it a lot better. But basically I say provide a rating from 1, low importance, to 10, high importance. Someone's trying to sell me something, rate it low. If this is someone trying to buy something from me, please rate it high. If this is any kind of promotion for a service, use your best judgment, but most likely rate it lower than higher. And an important email from a friend or family member should be rated very high. Please return the result only, no other text. So I limit that fairly hard. And now, it took it about 30 hours to get through my 25,000 emails and classify them all. And now it's just sitting waiting for new emails to come in. So it's just on like a 1-minute loop there. So I do want to improve this in a few different ways. And I'll probably release an update on this, but I'm pretty excited that this is working as well as it is. Currently, I'm not reading the body of the email. I'm basically reading the subject and like other things about it. So you can see here, I grab like the ID, the message ID, the from, the subject, the date. But I probably could actually go through and try to extract even more information, but I could tell pretty well with AI just from that, and it keeps the context window pretty small. And then I go through, and once it's rated, I go through and I mark the email as being read, and then I end up classifying it with a particular label. And let me show you what that looks like in my actual inbox here. So here's my inbox. This is my spam email, so if you do send me emails, it's not going to be the end of the world. But you can see here, uh, medium ended up with 467, and I went through these and like, I could argue that some of these probably should be lower priority, but it's not that too big a deal. Low currently has 11,095 in there, and high currently has 54, and I've deleted a bunch of low ones already, which is why it's down. So high was interesting because a lot of these I was like, oh, it's not doing a very good job. But it actually found like 5 emails that were very important that I would not have actually seen otherwise. One of them was actually a payout. So it actually made me money. So I ended up making like $22 from this, which was absolutely awesome. The other one was like an email from a friend from a while ago that I needed to reply to. But some of these are like political stuff, which I absolutely hate the political emails. Um, just absolutely. So that got me to thinking, like phase two of this, what I really want to do is I want to be able to go in to these particular emails. So say like this one, and I actually want to unsubscribe. So my next phase of this is like, can I actually unsubscribe from emails via AI? So I'm going to be I've been working on that. It's a little bit harder because typically what ends up happening, oh, okay. There will be like another button that needs to be clicked here. So I'm looking at like how I can actually extract the link, navigate to the link, and then actually do the action on the web page. But either way, this is the very first time in probably years this inbox has been to 0 unread emails, and it's got a pretty reasonable classification um, of things that I can actually get through to determine, if I should actually read it or not. And this is really just my spam email anyway, so I just wanted to test that out. But the exciting part to me was really the ability to use this Gemma 2 billion parameter um, model and have it perform so quickly. And I'm going to see if there's any logs up here to kind of show. Okay, so this is an email that basically just came in. So you can see how it actually returns back, and that my content rating was 1, which means that was a spam. And then it immediately sets it. So here's one, for example. This is from Reddit. The absolute best coding model that could fit ... It rated it as a 1 here. So I thought that was super cool. And then it's going to immediately mark it as read. It labels it correctly, and then we're done. I really think I'm going to do this for my other like major inboxes, but I want to improve this particular part on it. And I'd be curious if you guys wanted to help kind of come up with a good prompt. And that looks like a lot of the things. And then also student loan stuff seemed to be something that came in. So anyway, let me know what you think. I'll put, if anyone's interested, I can put a copy of this up on GitHub. So let me know in the comments if it's something you'd want to actually take a look at. If not, it's totally fine. But I thought it was a really cool experiment to see if I could actually use LLMs and a little bit of code to actually run through and manage my inbox for me. But anyway, till my next experiment, talk to you later.